First up today, the Times journalist Carol Midgley is calling for couples to spare a thought for singletons everywhere over the Christmas party season. As a married woman herself, she says that slushy couples who kiss passionately in public just make single people feel worse about their own relationship status. So she's calling for couples to tone down the face-sucking as a festive act of compassion. Do we agree? Should couples resist snogging in the company of others? What do you reckon, Zoe?
Oh, you know what? Yes, actually, a little bit, because it's not nice to look at, is it, really?
Yeah, as the only single one on the panel.
Yeah, all right,
as well.
here we go again. Give me a second. But quite frankly, if I was in a queue, say, waiting to go into some concert or something, and I was with a very new boyfriend, and we started snogging. I love snogging. It's the best thing in the world. I could snog for hours. I'd probably pull him into an alley and finish what I'd started. I wouldn't do it in front of other people. I wouldn't.
But you might do, though, you see, because it's one of those things, right? And I was single for a very long time, and I admit, I did used to think, ugh, get a room.
Yeah.
But probably deep down I was thinking, oh, I could just do with a snog now. And it is one of those things that is totally unacceptable unless it's you doing it. It's like, you know when people do pick their nose in their cars, don't they? People just do that. And if you see someone else do it, it's like, oh, how disgusting. But we all do it. You know, everybody does that.
No, we don't.
But it's the same as snogging. And I have to admit, yes, since I met Mark, we do tend to snog a lot, and especially when we first met, because, you know, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he was sitting in front of me. And hang on, it's my turn. Anyway, you know, we went for dinner once with two friends, Steve and Simon, and we sat there, and I tell you what, we didn't eat a single thing because we were too busy apart from each other. But Steve and Simon didn't mind at all. They were like,
I'm sure they did mind, because I would have had to leave.
They didn't mind. They didn't mind.
Right.
You weren't
Can we
there.
get Steve and Simon on the phone and ask them, because I bet they did mind.
No, they didn't.
Because the thing is, I don't think it's just upsetting to singletons. I just have, and you know I do, have a thing about people snogging in public when you're in a close environment. It's like if, for example, I'm not talking about a little show of affection over an arm round or a little peck on the cheek, but when you're sat at dinner, say the four of us, and say it was Carol and Mark, or say it was Frida Snodgrass and a boyfriend, I don't mind. But when they do that, and all the noises going... Oh, God, I just think it's so rude. One of my very close friends, and she will know who she is if she's watching, although I used to look forward to her getting a boyfriend, because obviously she'd be happier, in a way I used to dread it, because first of all, the little pet names would start, and the little sort of widow voices like that, and then I'd be sit on my own, we'd be watching the television if they were in my flat, and I'd turn round, and they were just all over each other, and I just think it's rude and bad-mannered. And you've been with Mark for 2 years now.
No, I haven't. 17 months.
Well,
but listen, you know what? I just think it's jealousy. The fact is,
it's not jealousy, Kate, because I have been in that situation.
No, because if you were, well, you are my age. You're older than me, a year older than me. But if you weren't married, and listen, if you weren't married and you were single and you had just got yourself a 27-year-old boyfriend, don't tell me you wouldn't be snogging his face off.
Do you know what I would do?
Because you would.
Carol, do you know what I would do?
Thank you.
Do you know what I would do? If I had a 27-year-old boyfriend, I absolutely promise you I'd be doing a lot more than snogging him every day. But I wouldn't be doing it at the dinner table like you do.
No, because it's not going to happen, is it?
Denise.
I have been with boys and fancied them before, Carol, in my life, and I've always made a
Not
point
at that
of
age.
not going like that. Well, that's even worse at your age to do it.
Denise, as Carol's friend, Carol went for 7 years in the Gobi Desert of dating, and now she's found somebody that she can't keep her hands off of. It's free, it's fun.
They are living together,
it's one of
Kate,
God's
they've got
pleasures.
plenty
We're
time.
not actually living together.
No, but you're together. Listen,
How can
I
you be
adore
part of
Mark.
that?
I couldn't keep my hands off Mark. I haven't.
All right. Now we're getting there.
But I've done it privately with him, Carol. That's the difference.
At the end of the day, snogging's a great thing, but when you see the spit and everything coming out, it's not nice. But I admit, when I see a couple snogging, I am honestly, a little bit jealous.
And Carol, you were so less tolerant of
Nice bit of honesty on the panel, so.
Carol, you are like an alien being has come over and gone into Carol in the last 2 years. You were intolerant of everything and everybody, and you would have been the person after a couple of sherries to go over to those people and tell them to get a room, not just say it in your head.
I would never have done that. I would never have done that, because let me just tell you, all the time when I used to go to Paris with my people snogging all the time, I did used to think, secretly, deep down, but
And
on the surface, I'd say get a room.
And you know what? You're right to feel envious because falling in love is the most intoxicating thing in the world.
Yes.
It's the one thing you can't manipulate or manufacture. And you just have to wait for the right man to land in your path.
And I've got a headache now.
Well, listen, sadly, Carol, you are in the minority as far as our audience here today are concerned because we've asked them, should couples resist from snogging when in the company of others? And a resounding 86% of them said, get a room.
Well, that means none of them are getting it either.